Hello, Revere, and welcome to the November Revere Senior News. My co-host, Steve Fielding, and a special guest from our senior center in the city of Revere, Charles Mackin, a World War II and Korea vet. Charles Mackin, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure and an honor to get you up here, because you are a busy man. Thank you for coming. Before we start the show, Steve, you have a lot of news for November, so let it go.
Well, first of all, November is a great month. There's a lot of activity in November. The first thing that comes up is Veterans Day, which this year is celebrated on November 12th, which is a Monday. And that's the actual legal holiday. So it's appropriate that, Chuck, you're with us today. Yes. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to be.
Yep. And the other thing that's very interesting in the month of November is Thanksgiving. And last year, I think we were talking about Jake the turkey in Revere, and this year, we hope that he's safe and sound, Morris.
I got bad news for you. Jake the turkey went AWOL this year. He's AWOL.
Oh, boy.
Okay, but we'll get him. We'll get him.
All right. So I remember last year we were talking about him. He was the rage of Revere.
I know that.
In any event, there's two great holidays, and we hope that people enjoy them and appreciate them. One, we hope that they appreciate and are thankful for all the veterans out there. There's many seniors that are veterans, as well as younger veterans. And so we're grateful and thankful for everything they do. And you two guys, you know, are World War II veterans, so that's going back a few years.
Yep, but before we continue, I am a World War II veteran, and so is my one on my left. But he's also a Korean veteran.
That's correct. That's correct. The other thing is Thanksgiving, and we have so much to be thankful for in this country. We have the greatest country in the world, as you know, and as you fought for. And we're very blessed to have America and to be able to live in a free country. So that's a wonderful thing. So as usual, I'm just going to go through some key dates, Morris, Chuck.
Yep.
And this is for the November month.
Right.
Okay. So I just want people to know about a couple of changes that took place in the latter part of October, and it's in regard to Mondays at the Senior Center, the health and exercise classes. The Tai Chi with Bill is now between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Core and Balance Fall Prevention is between 10 and 11 a.m. And Zumba with Amy is between 11:15 a.m. and 12 p.m. So if you're out there and you haven't been to the Senior Center for the last couple of weeks, in the last weeks of October, and you want to get back into the swing of health, just keep in mind that those are the new times. So as you know, guys, we have a special monthly luncheon every month. So I want to give an update on what we're having in November, and obviously we're going to celebrate November 15th. November 15th is our Thanksgiving at the Senior Center, because we're not open on Thanksgiving, November 22nd. So we will have a great Thanksgiving dinner on November 15th, a Thursday. You do have to call the Senior Center ahead of time to make a reservation. And we have a full Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings. We do have a great entertainer, Joey Canzano. Many of you know Joey. And the nice thing about Joey's performance is that it is being sponsored by the Revere Veterans Committee. Al Terminolo Jr. and City Councilor Ira Novoselsky will be sponsoring the Joey Canzano performance. So that kind of ties into Veterans Day, so it's kind of a nice thing. Also, in December, because it comes up so fast, I want people to realize that for the 5th consecutive year that I've been there, and previously as well, the St. Mary's of Lynn High School dancers will perform a Christmas show. And all the boys and the girls from the St. Mary's High School, under the direction of Beverly Buckley Richards, will come down and put on a great Christmas show, as they do every year. And then December 20th is our Christmas show, and we will have Santa Claus arriving for pictures at approximately 11 a.m., I should say. And we have the Christmas luncheon at 1, and then we have entertainment by vocalist R&B singer Bo Paris. So I just want you guys to know that.
Talking about Thanksgiving, I see the menu right here, and it's a good menu. Why don't you tell the people what it is, so if they love it, they'll be down there eating it.
Well, it's roast turkey with gravy, mashed potatoes, corn, cranberry sauce, dessert, and I guess I should get out and get some stuffing mix, huh?
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be
I
a
love
little
stuffing.
attraction for that. So it's a full Thanksgiving dinner, which is nice. And again, you do have to call the Senior Center at 781-286-8156 to make that reservation, and do it the first week of November, because I know we're going to get a lot of people,
Right.
particularly with Joey singing as well.
I just want to say one thing, if I may. That's on November the 15th, correct?
That's a
we're having-
Thursday.
Thursday.
That's right.
So I want to know the people out there, I want them to know that really when Thanksgiving falls on November the 22nd, the Senior Center will be closed. And also it will be closed Friday of that week.
Yeah, usually we have a skeleton crew, but we don't have enough people to man the skeletons as to pull
Well, the
skeletons.
skeleton crew should have been here Halloween then.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct. And we did have a great Halloween party, as
Right.
you know, and
Yep.
it took place on Wednesday, the 30th of October, with DJ George, and we had a lot of fun. And I want to thank Rick Promise and Revere TV for taping that show and airing it. So we're very happy that once again we had about 60 people in costume. So that was a wonderful Halloween party.
Chucky, I want to spend a few minutes with you, if I may. You are a World War II and Korea veteran.
Yes.
Tell us when you went into the service. Do you remember the year or what year it was?
1943, when I went in World War II.
And you were in the Navy,
Yes.
right? And you got out of the service when?
In February of 1950. And then I got called back into the Korean War.
Right, because then when it started.
Yeah.
Right. So it's great.
I had a baby on the way,
Go ahead.
and that didn't keep me out of the service either.
Right, and those days, I remember if you had one person of a family, they usually kept them out of the service, but it didn't do it with you good.
No.
Now, you do a lot of things for us at the Senior Center. I know you're always helping me and helping other people and cleaning up, and if people need things, you bring it for them. Do you enjoy doing that for the folks?
It's my second home.
Right,
I enjoy doing everything. You went with the music, Steve running the place and keeping everything going beautiful and up to date. Everybody's happy, and I'm happy.
as long as you're happy and Steve is happy, we're all happy at the Senior Center. So if you folks out there, if you want to be happy, come on down. We'd
Well,
love to have you.
It's great that Chuck is there and you're there, and it's testimony that you're there every day, both of you.
Yep.
And it's great that you recognize how well the Senior Center is run. I mean, it's only because of the great staff we have. Everybody works as a team, but it's also great because we have a lot of great volunteers. And it makes it a very warm, inviting place. And I think that if you are a senior and you're home alone, you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be isolated. You want to come down. There's a lot of seniors that don't recognize that they are seniors. I'm not going to the Senior Center.
That's what I was going to ask you, Steve.
Yeah.
According to the state here, they recognize seniors 55 and over. We do not. Tell us why not.
Well, there's different criteria depending on the organization. For instance, AARP says you're a senior if you're 55 plus.
Right.
For us at the Senior Center and for most senior centers in the state, we require that you be 60 years or more, because all of us cities and towns in the state of Massachusetts rely so much on a formula grant, and those are the criteria, one of the criteria for the grant. However, we all make exceptions. So if you are a little bit younger than 60, if you're between 50 and 60 and you want to take an exercise class, we're not going to prevent you from coming down. I think that we have to be welcoming, and we have to make sure that people accept older people, even if they're under 60.
Right. Now, Steve, before we continue, if I may, I have a list here of what we do at the Senior Center. I like to just start off what we do, and you can elaborate on it. For example, the first one is the Senior Center Book Club.
Yeah, this is great. We have a great relationship with the Revere Library, and one of the librarians, Janice Van Hoekelman, actually has a group of about 9 to 10 people who she meets with every month. And she actually brings the books. They discuss what kind of books they would like to read at the meeting. After they do that, she brings all the books, so the senior doesn't even have to go to the library. and they read it, and then when they come back the next month, they have a nice discussion on how they feel the book was written and what it meant to them, and they also have many snacks that we provide them.
And
They meet every third Thursday. November 15th is the third Thursday.
What time?
2:30 to 3:30.
And can they seniors take the books home if they want to read them?
That's how they read them. They take them home.
Oh, okay. So
Janice keeps track of them, and it's been a program that's been in existence for a couple of years, and it's doing very well.
okay, the next thing I'd like to ask you about the entertainment that you have every month, and you usually have some great entertainers there.
Yeah, we've had the Singing Grandpops, we've had Joey Canzano, we've had the Memory Laners, we've had the Powers School of Music. We have some great stuff coming up. We have Thanksgiving with Joey Canzano singing. We have the St. Mary's High School dancers coming down. It's not a special lunch, but it's a special performance, a Christmas show on December 13th. It's just a regular lunch. Just call up a day ahead. And then we have our Christmas lunch on December 20th. And then in January, I believe it's the 25th, we have the Dude, Steve Capano, who's a DJ that's going to come down and help celebrate that. And we have a number of bookings already for 2019.
Great. Now, I know we're only doing the November show, but are we going to be able to get Santa Claus, you think, this year to come on the show?
I believe we will. I believe we will.
Because I know he's very busy this year.
Very busy, and we're working on that right now, although it's the most wonderful time of the year for Santa Claus because he's having his elves prepare all the toys and build them.
I thought you sounded like Andy Williams there.
Far from Andy Williams, but yeah, so we know he's busy.
Okay, another great thing we do at the Senior Center, and people love it, is they take their blood pressure there. How, the dates, and who does that for us?
So the city nurse, who's a public health nurse, is Carol Donovan, and she comes to the Senior Center twice a month to take blood pressure, and she'll actually talk to you about individual issues you may have. And Carol will be there on November 1st and November 18th between the hours of 11 and 12.
Repeat the dates again for me.
November 1st and November 15th. Okay, those 2 days, they're both Thursdays from 10 to approximately 12 o'clock.
And that's all she does, just take the blood pressure?
Well, she will talk to you individually about
Right.
other issues if you need some advice.
Okay, that's good. So, folks, if you need that, come on down. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about, there's also a monthly hearing program with Mary Marino.
Yep, Mary has a company called Mary's Affordable Hearing Aids. She's been coming to the Senior Center for years. And Mary has very cost-effective prices. If you need hearing aids, she'll help you. She'll even come to your home. She also helps you if you have problems with your hearing aids, whether it be a battery or electric problem. She will also be at the Senior Center on the third Thursday of every month, November 15th from 10 to 12.
Great. Another thing we do at the Senior Center, folks, is what's known as the chair massage. Elaborate on that.
Yeah, well, the chair massage, Barbara McDonald is a chair masseuse, and she comes to the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center twice a month, and it's usually the Monday and Tuesday, and it changes every month. But this month in November, it's Monday the 12th and Tuesday the 13th, and she's there in the morning.
Right. Also, we also have a thing called the monthly podiatry clinic.
Right. Dr. Kaplan has been coming to the Senior Center the first Wednesday of every month, and you have to come early for that because he has a very full booking. He goes to many senior centers. He'll be there on the first Wednesday in November, which is the 7th.
Right.
And you better get there by 8:30.
We also know some trips that you take. Any special trips in November?
Well, not in November, other than the fact that we're going to Mohegan Sun. Those are trips that are run by Marisa, who is in the office, and she does a monthly casino trip, and she alternates between Foxwoods and Mohegan. But Lorraine Rapoli of the Patriot Civic Club does offer trips, and she promotes them every month. And on occasion, Irma Achatullo works with me to come up with a special trip on occasion, and it's a low-cost trip. For instance, in October, we had a lobster bake trip to Maine, and the Senior Center, and because of my budget at the Senior Center, paid for the bus, so they had a wonderful trip up to Maine. It only cost seniors $50.
I'm glad you mentioned Irma Osatullo because she does a lot for our senior center, but she's also doing a lot more now by bringing us stuff that she sells at dirt cheap prices. Tell us about
Well,
that.
just because they're dirt cheap prices doesn't mean they're dirt cheap.
No, but I mean the prices are dirt cheap.
So what she has done is she has requested if she could set up a table that has jewelry, handmade items, some kitchen items, some books, some small types of clothing, like whether they be gloves or scarves, things like that. And what she's doing is selling them at very low cost, affordable prices, things that seniors might like. And what she is doing is donating that money right back to the senior center, which we deposit into one of our city accounts.
Right. Also, I would like to talk about the senior center, about the things that you have set up for the veterans. You now have a bunch of buckets for the candy to be offered.
Well, this month, as you know, we have candy for veterans, and we are collecting candy. So, and I believe through the Veterans Office, and we are collecting any candy that anybody wants to donate. And then when you come into the senior center, right in front of the elevator, there's a table with these 2 baskets. And at the end of the month, we will make sure that they're given to the veterans.
Right.
Steve, do we have many veterans at the seniors?
I don't think we have as many as we used to. I think that I can name about 5 or 6 veterans that come on a regular basis. And then there's probably upwards of probably 10 to 15 that come at various times, whether they come for the health and exercise or the special luncheons. I remember a couple of years ago we had Len Sadler, who wrote a book about his son, about Jared Monty, his friend's son, and we actually had a book signing. And at that time we had a group photo, and there had to be 15 to 20 veterans, and I don't think we get as many now as we used to.
Well, we had a veteran, Sal Santoro, who lived to be 103 years plus, passed away. We have a living veteran, Tony who's 100 years plus.
Yep, Tony Barrasso.
We have a veteran who's in his 90s.
Yep.
We have a veteran who's going to be 90. So we have old veterans. Not many World War II left. So if you are a World War II veteran, for heaven's sakes, come on down. We'd love to see you and say thank you.
Yeah, I think we had a few Korean conflict veterans as well.
Oh yeah, we have Nick Jacoby is a Korean veteran.
Yeah.
A great veteran.
Yeah, and so we do have them.
Walter Pfeiffer.
Walter Pfeiffer was a CB, I believe, if I
Right.
remember right. And Al Tranfaglia was a Korean
right.
veteran,
I was getting to, yep. And Paul, that comes in.
Oh, Paul, yes, Paul.
He's a veteran.
Yes, he is.
So to all your and to all the veterans out there, happy Veterans Day.
All right, so we want to talk to Chuck a little about his experience
I would like
serving.
to,
Is that correct?
Okay.
Go ahead, Chucky. You take over for a few minutes. Excuse me, before you start, people don't know this, Steve, but this guy writes some of the best poems I've ever read. Tell us how you got involved in that, too. Go ahead, Chuck.
It's life. It's how I live life. How I lived it, what I ran, how I survived it, and the people around me that influenced me to write. Because what I wrote is how they felt and how they lived. So it made me feel like I accomplished something.
Now, I believe several years ago we had Chuck on as a guest, and he recited a couple of poems that he wrote, and it's all in memory. It's right here.
Yeah. Right, Steve, I would like to mention to the
I got one now if you like.
Go for it.
I would like to mention to the seniors out there about this new health care reform, you know, that ends December the 7th. Can you expand on that?
Health care?
Medicare, you know.
Yeah, if you look at the Senior Power newsletter, okay, on the bottom of the first page, we ask people to realize that there is an open enrollment period.
Right.
It runs from October 15th to December 7th, and what that does is it's an annual open enrollment. If you are co-paying and you have drugs covered through your policy, you can change it. You can change your coverage. And at the Senior Center, we have a Shine counselor. Her name is Barry Olevsky, and she is there every Monday, and she takes 4 appointments every Monday. She's a volunteer with much experience, many years experience in being a retired person now. She volunteers and helps seniors navigate through the coverage that they may have or one that they may want to choose. And it gets so busy, Morris and Chuck, during open enrollment that we have a person from Mystic Valley Elder Services, which is what we call our ASAP, which is an Aging Service Access Point. That's our connection to the state. They are contracted through the state. As a result of our relationship with Mystic Valley Elder Services, we have an additional Shine counselor. She's actually the director of the Mystic Valley Elder Service Shine program. She's going to come down on November 15th and assist Barry and be able to take more appointments.
Great. Another thing that I would like to mention in November, people don't know that this is in November where we're voting on November the 6th. So make sure all of you get out there and vote so you have no excuse.
And the other thing is we're changing the clocks up, correct?
Right, on November, the first Sunday in November at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
That's right. So the clock's got spring ahead, fall back.
There you
That's
go.
the way it goes.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to get an extra hours of sleep. So you should all come down to our senior center nice and fresh.
So I guess that means that we'll be getting calls at 6 a.m. for seniors to get picked up by the shuttle van because they'll be wide awake and ready to come in, not
right.
realizing that it's fall back.
Oh, one other thing. Last month, I believe the date was October the 28th. Yeah, the 28th, since today is the 29th. The 28th, the Red Sox won the World Series.
They did win the World Series, thankfully, and they always had a trend in the World Series, as you guys know. They were a great two-out hitting team and a great two-out hitting team. So they worked the count and they worked the number of outs, and they came back and they had a great performance.
What's new? What's new for the senior center?
What's new at the Senior Center?
Coming up.
Coming up? Well, by the time this airs, we will have our new van. Let me put it that way. So we have a major spike in the usage of our shuttle van, and it will help us pick up more people. Unfortunately, because the demand is so high, and despite the fact that we have 3 part-time people driving that shuttle van, it's just going to make it a little bit easier, but the demand is so high because so many seniors need to get around, and it's very low cost. It's only $1 each way. So if you want more information about our shuttle van, you can look at our newsletter. There are the program information is in there every month. You can go on revere.org/elderaffairs.com, and you'll see the Elder Affairs page, and we have shuttle information there, or you can call the Senior Center. And obviously, we would love to have you stop by and have a tour and take a look at what we offer.
Tell us how people can use the senior shuttle.
How they can use it?
Yep.
Well, they can use it for a couple of things, or more than a couple. They can use it to come to the Senior Center only, back and forth from their home, or they can register, and they can use it to go to a doctor's appointment, a pharmacy, the bank, the library, City Hall. You know, so they don't have to come to the Senior Center, although we would love them to. So they can use it in that respect. They can go to Market Basket and Stop and Shop, although we are reviewing how the shuttle is being utilized for the shopping excursions that we do. And I think that we're going to probably start utilizing one particular day for all the shopping needs.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We're talking about holidays. Yesterday was one holiday that used to be for years, Navy Day. Used to be October the 28th.
That was last month, right.
And October. And they did away with it years ago. Why?
And what was Navy
Maybe
Day, a
because they had-
celebration of what?
Because I guess they took all these service holidays and probably made one.
Right, they put them into Veterans
Yeah,
Day.
Yep.
That was
Yeah, because
good.
Navy Day used to be.
They used to have Army Day, Navy Day,
I see.
Marine Day,
Right,
Air Force
yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
I wish the government would make it a national holiday. What a time off we get, huh? Steve, we have about 3.5 minutes. What would you like to see at the Senior Center coming up in the future for the state and the city to help us?
Well, as I said, I went to the Mass Council on Aging in Senior Center Directors Conference last week, and one of the most revealing things I learned, which is always the case every year, is the growing number of seniors. And on occasion, when I come back from these conferences, I always write a letter to the editor with all the statistical data that's updated. The number of seniors in the state, the number of seniors in the city, You know, how many are living alone? You know, there's just a lot of information. How many are using services? What I would like to see is more attention being paid to seniors. I'm working on trying to gather a group of people so that we can have a committee to help foster an age-friendly community as they do in Boston. And that's a lot of work, and it's a lot of information, and it's a long process. But what it will entail is buy-in from the mayor, the police chief, the fire chief, seniors themselves, different neighborhood groups, so that we all have an understanding on what the senior needs and services are as the city progresses in its development, in its buildings, as it's doing infrastructure work, and in what senior services and the needs are for us at the senior center who serve seniors every day.
I would like to say one thing. We have a newsletter that goes out once a month.
Yes.
And people can pick that up where? Because a lot of people have asked me, where can they pick it up
They
that
can
do
pick-
not go to the senior center?
They can go to the city hall, they can go to any of the retail pharmacy, the retail stores, pharmacies. They can go online and check the Revere.org site if you go to the Elder
Do
Affairs
you know the
page.
email will be online?
www.revere.org/elderaffairs.com. You could also have the newsletter emailed to you. Okay? I will personally email it to you, but I need your email address. If you want to request a newsletter be sent to you via email, contact me at sfielding@revere.org. In the subject of your email, put Revere Senior Power Request, and I will be happy to send it out to you.
Right, and if they want to call the senior center, can you just throw out a number for them?
Yep. The number is 781-286-8156.
Right. That's great. Now, we got about a minute left, so I'm going to wrap it up for you, Steve. It was a pleasure to have our guest here, Chucky. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you. And let me say thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank all you people of Revere for tuning in. Thank the veterans, and most of all, thank our great country, the United States of America. Until the next time, I hope we have another great guest on our show. But I'm looking forward to Santa Claus coming on. Steve, take the last few words.
And I just want to encourage seniors out there who have not been to the senior center, please come down. You know, find out what we have available. It's just not bingo and lunch. I mean, we do so many things. We provide so many activities, programs, special lunches. Movies, presentations. We've had a number of presentations over the last month, and seniors have benefited greatly. We have a lot of special guests. We've had the police, the fire. We've had Mystic Valley Elder Services. We've had Neighborhood PACE. We've had our North Shore Elder Services come. It's just an amazing amount of information that we provide seniors.
Right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you, Chuck.